raindrops and decide to leave them outside and come inside and network. We're just thrilled to have you. Can I have you raise your hand if you're a first-time WEDA conference attendee? Okay, so if you're a seasoned pro, please raise your hand. All right, so you two, you need to connect with someone that you saw raise a hand at an opposite time, so you can plug in and learn all the great stuff going on with WEDA. We're glad to have all our new people join us, and we're looking forward to greater conversations as our day goes through. I'm Betty Capitani, and by day I'm the Director of Economic Development for Pierce County. And this year I'm just really pleased to be Chair of WEDA. So you'll get to see a little bit of me throughout the conference, but really this conference is all about you. And we are so thrilled to have this. This is a new venue for us, but we're thrilled to be in this venue, and a shout out to everyone that made it possible. We understand you have to do a little more logistics, but hang in, we're worth it. Thank you for that. So with that, we have actually over 230 people that will be attending our conference. Yes. That is actually 50 more than last year. Wow. So, and during the short legislative session, that's pretty amazing. And you're going to be here on a weekday, that's even more amazing. So we look forward to it. And of our 230, we're a really diversified group of people, but we're all really passionate about jobs and economic development. So our breadth includes sports, local governments, tribal, business, education, workforce, community leaders, city, towns, rural, urban, just a huge mixture. And I probably missed someone in the equation, but we're welcoming you underneath our tent. Our formal program actually starts at 12:20. So I'm just the warm up to the warm up. In the meantime, if you have not eaten, and we were just delighted to have the buffet early. If you haven't eaten, or if you need to seat back and get another cookie or something, please be sure to do that. And we just, throughout the conference, we also want to showcase some of our sponsors that make WEDA successful, and we appreciate their sponsorship. And some of our top sponsors get to say a little bit about themselves. And so we are just thrilled to have the relatively new State Director for SBDC, or the Washington State Small Business Development Center, make sure I'm saying it the right way. You're a very valued sponsor. We appreciate that. So Cheryl McGrath is going to come up and give you a little bit about what she does. Woo!
Thank you, Betty, and welcome everybody. I am so excited to be the first person to kick off this amazing conference. I'm very accustomed to bringing up the rear, so this is a new experience for me being first. But thank you and welcome. And thank you, Betty. That was a lovely introduction. Fairly new is true. It's actually 10 months that I've been able to serve the SBDC as the state director, and it has been a blessing and an honor. And one of the biggest honors for me has been the opportunity to work more with WEDA and all of its membership. WEDA has been a huge, huge supporter of the SBDC, and for us to be able to partner with and support SBDC, support WEDA as a sponsor, has just been a true pleasure. WEDA, if you don't know, and for some of those new folks here, WEDA was a huge advocate for SBDC in 2022 in the legislative session, which allowed us to receive state funding for the first time in more than 40 years. And that was huge. The first time in over 40 years of SBDCs being in existence in Washington State. We received funding again for 2023-24, and I peeked at the proposed budget for 24-25, and we're yet on there again. So thank you, thank you, thank you. What I've noticed with my experience in WEDA as a member, and it's been 5 years that I've been with SBDC, so I've had the opportunity to work with many of you, is this sense of collaboration. And I know that the pandemic was really hard on many of our agencies, but through the pandemic, what I also saw was courage, and I saw age, meaning wisdom. We pulled it together, we worked together to collaborate to make the small business communities, the ecosystem, and jobs secure and grow. And we did that together through the pandemic, realizing that we're not all on a freeway in our own lane, but we're working together to make everybody stronger. Our theme for the SBDC this year is level up. And I think that within this group, we have all worked together to level each other up. And just a quick note of numbers, with the state funding that we were able to receive along with all of our stakeholders, 2023, we served 3,400 clients, small business clients. We had almost 5,000 training attendees. We had a 97% client satisfaction rate for those clients that we serve. We created or saved 3,900 jobs, 260 new business starts. We raised 103 million in new capital, and increased sales for all of our businesses was $165 million in 2022. And that's because we've been in this together. So in closing, I just want to say we made it through the pandemic with courage and age, wisdom. So what I want to do is encourage you all, courage and age, to continue working together to make our small business community, our economic climate healthy and thriving, because that's what communities are about. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. And now I get to have Mandy Wallner come up, and she's our vice chair on our WEDA board, but she's also in charge of the conference. So she's going to get us going with some interactive networking, right? All right, good afternoon. I think I just barely get that in. We're just afternoon. So I want to thank everybody for being here today and welcome to the Winter Conference. We're super excited about our attendance this year. It's definitely the highest attendance that we've had for conference over the next couple of days. So we're excited to get all that networking together. But first I have a couple of kind of housekeeping notes and some excitement to get going. Our program this year, or this session, is Adapt and Impact Economic Development in a Rapidly Transforming World. We'll say more about that later, but like Betty said, those of you we want to make sure you get your lunch. So feel free, if you just arrived, to get out and do that. It's out here in the hallway just behind the conference room. So you should be able to find it. The WEDA board and conference planning committee wanted to make sure that, like our conferences in recent years, this is a fun conference for everybody. So we want to make sure that you have a lot of intentional time for connecting and networking. All of the smart and fun, talented people who are here bring a lot of knowledge and background on programs and things to share. So be sure to check into that and be present as much as you can. Swap Card, if you're not familiar, is an app that kind of helps us guide the conference, and that's where you can also engage a little extra outside of the sessions and also track the bios and information about all the speakers. You can engage in discussion and questions in that format as well. It's also great if you go home, if you start a computer, you can go find them on LinkedIn or however you choose to do those things in life. But there's a great opportunity there. Live discussion is a great place to follow in each of the sessions, and that's also a place to enter your questions. Before we begin our formal program at 12:20, so feel free to get into that, get all learned up, and we'll be ready to go. We also have facilitators at most of our tables with discussion questions on the table tents. So please introduce yourself, where you're from, what you do, and then jump into those questions. Some are fun and make it super awkward, and some are really easy. So everybody looks good, awkward networking. So feel free to do that. We also want to make sure that you know about the bios and photos I talked about in Swap Card. But the important part of that too is the guest Wi-Fi for those of you that are interested. Once you open up, you need to authorize your device, and then WEDA 24 with no space is your password. But again, WEDA 24 in case. And we're going to start the formal program at 12:20. So in the meantime, enjoy your lunch. Feel free to get comfortable with Swap Card. and leverage those networking opportunities at your table.
Woo! I haven't got to it yet. Okay. I'm on my way. Sometimes there's a swap app, and there was other app. It's a swap something. I can't remember what it's called. We call it swap card. So there is a swap card app. This book, and then last year there was another swap something app that was similar, but people were grabbing that habit. So I just wanted to make sure that it was the right one. Yeah.
There's some questions are supposed to be.
I came to this Phoenix conference because I want to see your house. Do you see the beautiful table?
Right.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh,